Welcome, friends. Welcome to Chicko's Dustbin video show. I'm Chicko Dee, and today's show we'll be reviewing the 80s video tripe, 1986 low-budget vanity action film Hammerhead Jones, starring Ted Vernon as Hammerhead Jones. Hammerhead Jones is the world champion of a Florida wrestling promotion who has a fan base consisting of orphan children that he has taken under his wings by funding their home and giving them life lessons. But he runs afoul of the promotion's new promoter, Numbers Cooper, who takes over from his father and is tired of Hammerhead Jones being on top. Hammerhead has another thorn in his side, number one contender, Mountain Malloy, who feels that the champion has been dodging him and cuts a whiny promo during and after the main event. After winning and retaining his title in the defense, having to deal with a whiny Mountain Malloy promo, Hammerhead tries to chill out in his locker room when he's confronted by a lazy sports reporter, Matt Pollan, who chastises Hammerhead for being involved in a fake sport where people pretend to hurt each other. Tired of his bullshit, Hammerhead tosses the hack reporter out of his locker room. Numbers fires his dead father's last two loyal employees from the promotion and decides to take the company in a new direction, making all the matches into shoot contests. He also has his lawyer draw up paperwork to make sure the company isn't liable for the wrestler's injuries. Any wrestler that doesn't sign the new contracts will be blackballed for working in other promotions. The champ defends his title and wins against Bronco Billy. We're treated to watching Hammerhead Jones hanging and banging on his Harley during a nighttime cruising montage. After riding around all night, Hammerhead swings by the orphanage to visit with Sister Ann and to get some luck before his defense against The Undertaker, and gives life lessons to one of the orphans about how little guys can defeat big guys. It foreshadows the events that will later occur at the end of the film. Oops, a spoiler. Hammerhead retains his title by pinning The Undertaker successfully for a third time, as the commentators during the match debate whether or not the champ will participate in the promoter's death matches. The audience is treated to a little comedy when a flamboyant wrestling costume designer measures the grappler Jerry Spooner for a new outfit. Hammerhead learns about Numbers Cooper taking over the promotion and forcing all the wrestlers to have legit shoot death matches, and is not thrilled about the idea. He takes off to visit his wrestling buddy, Marco Coleman, who was the first sucker to participate in the shoot death match, and tries to talk him out of it. But his wife tells Hammerhead that he won't do it because the money from the contest will support his wife and family. Sadly, Marco gets mauled in the death match and is carted out of the ring after drenching the ringside fans in blood. The bloody sight enrages Hammerhead, who smashes his TV screen, just like that lyric in the Clash song, Dirty Punk. Numbers picks up Hammerhead in his limo and tells him that he's defending the title against Mountain Malloy in a shoot death match, but he refuses, telling the promoter, "You can't take away my title. I'll only lose the title in the ring," and storms off. Numbers makes a phone call to ensure the match will happen. The sleazy promoter calls Phil Mangano, a large sweaty goon who catches Hammerhead while he's benching some weights and delivers him a message about the upcoming title bout before being chased off by his trainer and a fellow musclehead. The thug comes back the next day and beats Hammerhead's trainer senseless and uses a pair of pliers to break all the fingers on his right hand to make sure that the champ defends his title in a shoot fight against Mountain Malloy. Hammerhead cruises all around the South Florida area in his convertible before he hears about his trainer being in a hospital after being beaten severely by Phil Mangano. He tells his buddy that he's going to get revenge. Hammerhead pays a visit to Numbers and squeezes the name of Phil Mangano out of him. Hammerhead finds a club that Phil's bouncing at, calls him out, and wails the tar out of the big oaf. Meanwhile, at the arena, Mountain Malloy cuts another whiny promo on Hammerhead Jones during the middle of a tag team match involving 4 ham and eggers. Hammerhead and Numbers have an on-air interview where he agrees to the death match with Mountain Malloy. If he wins, Numbers has to quit as a promoter, and if he loses, he has to retire from wrestling. However, Numbers pulls a fast one on Hammerhead, telling him the match won't be against Mountain Malloy, but another wrestler, Zarek, the Prince of Darkness. We get a glimpse of Hammerhead training for his 4th title defense, his first death match as champion. Now it's time for the main event. Hammerhead Jones comes to the ring pushing his buddy Mark Coleman, who was crippled in the death match, while his orphan fans cheer him on. He tries to punk out Zarek, But the big steel man is a real tugboat. The man who's going to shock the world is reminded by his mentor that they'll get $100,000 if they maim the champion. Zarek is a walking natural disaster and moves on Hammerhead Jones like a typhoon and brutalizes him in and out of the ring. He gets some nuclear heat by going after Coleman, which pisses off Sister Ann. This causes a red-hot Hammerhead to ram Zarek into the ring, busting him open the hard way. Sister Ann and the fans cheer as Hammerhead Jones rallies to defeat Zarek in a lights-out deathmatch. Zarek is legit knocked out and can't get up before the 10 count, so Hammerhead retains his title and numbers his force to quit as promoter. The end. Hammerhead Jones is just a blah movie. It has an interesting concept of having wrestlers participate in shoot matches, but the terrible writing, sloppy directing, and mediocre acting make this a bad movie. It's also the cardinal sin of bad movies that are not fun. It's boring. I mean, really boring. The film does have several Florida-based wrestlers in the movie, most notably Fred Ottman and Rusty Brooks, but I haven't seen this movie since I was a young chick, and after watching it again, it wasn't a great nostalgic view.
Time to see what the humans are watching again. I hope you enjoyed this show. Bye.